Hi, welcome to Indigenous Bites 2. I am on an eggplant field in Plummetal. That's just about 1 hour south of Sangre Grande and very close to Manzanilla. And today it's all about indigenous Indian delicacies. I'm going to be preparing some baigani and some baigani bites. Before we get to that, I'm going to go and check my farmer and take a little walk through and have a little chat with him. On the eggplant field, and again thank you again, Mr. Suknanan.
You're welcome.
It's been a lovely morning. So tell me a little bit about your journey. How long have you been into farming?
Well, I am in farming for the longest period of time, since early childhood with my parents. And I did farming a little while, and then my children, my son, my daughter-in-law, they came and take over the fields, they take over the plot of land.
So
and
now,
they started agriculture.
So now you're doing eggplant because it's productive for you.
It is productive.
And I see your field looks very healthy and very beautiful.
Well, there's a lot of work on agriculture and farming, so you know, you have a lot of fertilizing, you have a lot of spraying, you have a lot of wetting. You have the drip hose, so we wet the garden on a regular basis so that we could get good production.
What's the life cycle of an eggplant?
Well,
plant from
you can get up to 12 months, 13, 14 months,
okay,
according to the treatment, according to the caring of the garden.
So every 12 months or 30 months, you literally clear the land and replant your eggplant trees.
Yeah.
So of course, I see these gorgeous little lavender pinky flowers. That is an indication, of course, that your plant is going to bear fruit.
Yeah.
And how do you know when an eggplant or melongen is ready to be picked?
At this stage, you know, we look for the biggest one. That we touch it and we know how tender it is, so we know this one is good to harvest.
Right.
And we harvest that. Okay, maybe I'll give you an instance. Okay, like this one here, we know this is ready for harvesting.
Okay, so
because
you just
of
pluck
this.
it at the end here by the...
So you see that is ready for
Right.
harvesting.
What else do you plant on your field? I know you do.
Well, we have
melongen.
we have melongen, we have hot peppers, we have okras, and we have cucumbers.
So you had mentioned earlier that sometimes you plant different crops. You may plant like a vine crop.
Yeah. Okay, after we ripped out the bygone field, you know, the
Right.
melongen field, we rotate back the land and we use our vine crops such as cucumber, pumpkin, watermelon, you know, and then you rotate it back again.
So when that happens, how long does that take to come?
Well, it will take about 3 months, 5 months according, you know.
So that's it.
Yeah,
Okay, and then
yeah.
you plant back here
Then
so
you
that the
plant back.
land gets chance
Yeah.
to
Then we manure
to
back
rest.
the land, you know, we buy
Right.
manure and we manure back the land. So you build back some moisture on the land
Right.
so that your plants could feed and grow properly.
and they look beautiful. So I'm going to try and steal a few more because then we're
Sure,
going to go
you're
and
welcome.
make some baigani and
Yeah.
some baigani bites. For the baigani, of course, we're very lucky today to have farm fresh eggplant. And how do you choose a good eggplant? It's got to be tight, smooth, shiny, and really give when you press it, almost spongy in texture. And of course, when you're choosing your eggplant, your baigan, your melongen, or your aubergine, yes, they're called by all those different names in the market, kind of look for the ones that are a little lighter. That means, of course, there's not a lot of seed, and where there's not a lot of seed, of course, you've got a sweeter eggplant or baigan. So for my baigani, I'm going to do baigani 2 ways for you today, the traditional way and a modernized version. I'm going to slice this up first. Now, sometimes people get an allergic reaction to eggplant and it gives a bit of a scratchiness in your mouth. So I'm just going to salt this. Now you can see how beautiful and fresh this is. There are not a lot of seeds in there, so this is going to be really tender and delicious. Now make sure you have a really sharp knife to cut through the skin as well. Good, so I'm going to set this aside here now. And we're going to lightly salt it. Nice breezy morning here. So now what the salt does is it pulls the bitter juices, whatever is there, out of the eggplant, and so that makes it a lot tastier. So we're modernizing it a bit and giving you another version. So this is going to be almost like a fritter, but we're going to be using the same batter for it. I just want to leave this for about 10 to 15 minutes until everything gets, the juices come out. We're going to rinse that out and then we're going to make our mixture. Now traditionally, baigani is an Indian delicacy, and the traditional way of doing it is with a split peas paste. Of course, fast forward to today, hardly anybody uses split peas in the batter, and to me that makes it really sweet. So what I'm going to do today is really interesting. I'm going to use doubles or bara mix for my batter, and I'm going to add some split peas powder to that, and that's just going to pump up the flavor and the texture in this baigani. Okay, now I'm going to mix up the paste that goes onto the baigani. So I'm going to put some of my bara mix in here. Of course, we like to modernize things a bit, use new ingredients. In goes my split peas powder, a little bit of garlic, some salt, and a nice bit of freshly roasted, ground roasted cumin. So I'm just going to mix that up. This is a really cool mix because it's got everything in it, so we don't have to add anything but just water now. Add in some pepper sauce to this mixture as well. Give that a nice bit of spiciness, and of course some water to bring that all together. Now you add enough water to get it a nice spreadable paste, so you're going to be the judge of that when you start to add your water. It depends on what you're making. So I want like a nice paste that's going to be easy to spread, but nothing too slack that's going to fall off of my melange pieces. Good. So this rests for about, I would say, 20 minutes or so before we come back. But while this is happening, I'm going to go and rinse my eggplant now. But I want to show you after we've put the salt onto the eggplant, exactly this is what happens. As you can see, we've got some beading happening there with the water, and that shows that the bitter juices are coming out of the eggplant. Alright, so all we need to do is just rinse this up, and then we're going to be ready to fry. Okay, my oil is nice and hot. I'm going to take some eggplant and paste my mixture onto that. Now using your hands really works well. If you're really squeamish with respect to things like this, you can of course use a spoon, but I like to use my hands. So you want to just smear it on both sides. It's interesting, everybody has their own way of doing things, so nothing is carved in stone. That's the beauty of using new ingredients, get new flavors. Beautiful. So I'm putting this into my oil now. Delicious. And of course the eggplant is sliced quite thin, so they're not going to take too long to cook in the batter. So that's going to be a few more minutes. I'm now going to prepare the baigani bites, which is basically the same batter that we just used for the regular baigani, and I'm going to put some chopped up baigan or eggplant into that. Well, we just did that and we salted it, rinsed it out, and some chopped chive and a little bit of chopped shadow benny as well. Now I think chive adds a delicious sweetness without it being too harsh. So we're gonna just quickly chop that up. So this is gonna go into my batter, and my chopped up baigan or eggplant is going to go into that as well. And I just want to mix that up. Of course, I want to get some shadow benny in there as well. I'm going to put a little bit of water in here just to loosen up that batter a bit. And the fresh, wonderful, lemony flavor of shadow benny comes through in something like this because it's not cooked for too long. So I like to use shadow benny like that, and a little bit of water in there as well. Okay, so I'm using my hands for this now. I'm just going to take up little bits of batter and just throw that into the pot. Well, not throw, place, not throw. And so they're going to be quite tiny. Your hands work really well here because you've got more control. But again, if you are squeamish, you can use a spoon. So those are getting nice and brown, so I'm just gonna turn those around. And look at how gorgeous those look. They're so cute. Great, that's the last of my baigani bites. I'm gonna whip up some mango chutney for you now. I've got some grated mango, shadow benny, garlic, good bit of salt, and of course when you're making chutney of any type, you always balance it with some sugar as well, and of course good bit of pepper sauce because it's meant to be hot, spicy. That's why we call it chutney. Stir it all up together, and of course fabulous.